All right. What's going on, guys? Lucas Jensen here with the Forward Thinking Podcast. I'm here with my good buddy, Spencer Heyward, friend, associate, client, killer. I mean, dude, so many titles going for you. Marketer, bro. Look at all those yard signs behind you. Dude's a painting business owner, but a part-time marketer at the same time, but an absolute killer to say the least. So happy to have you on, man.
Thanks, man. Glad to be on here. I got my little notepad in front of me and ready to take some notes, ready to make this happen, you know?
Love that, man. You're more of a notes on paper kind of guy?
I like big, I like big notes. I like putting everything on paper. I got I love like big stuff, exactly what I'm doing with a freaking Sharpie. I know it sounds kind of crazy. If not, I want a pen. I don't ever do any. I haven't touched a pencil in like 3 or 4 years. It's just like it's marker or pen.
And for everyone that's listen here through audio and not video, Spencer just showed his piece of paper, and on his paper it said my name, Lucas, with a big heart through it.
Oh, no. No, I order these in like 20 packs. So they're just big yellow notepads, and they're like, I go through them like crazy. Like this is the last one. This is the last one I just finished. It's even got the notes at the end.
Damn, you're drawing on the board.
I know. I draw on the board and like literally just notes after notes after notes. I mean, I like it on paper. I can go back and look at it, and I don't know. Maybe one day I'll switch all internet based, but for now it's my one thing that I keep on.
Yeah, me too. I'm big. Like I divide my my planner in two. So I do tasks on one side and notes on the other. So if I get any crazy ideas, like jump on an impromptu podcast with Spencer, I'll just jot it down on the right side and then execute on the left. So I love that, dude. But when you quote, I mean, you're not really on the sales so much. You got a sales rep in place, right?
Yeah, I got a sales rep in place. We just switched over our leadership. So now, before he was doing sales and project management, and now he's just doing sales. And I don't really do much sales anymore. And I kind of miss it sometimes, but I got to be in the office building the company.
Yeah, I love that, dude. I love that. So when it's JP, your sales rep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So when JP shows up to quote a job, is he a pen and paper guy too? Like, are you doing your quotes on paper, or are you doing them on like an iPad?
Yeah, so we have a big iPad for him. It's like a 12-inch iPad Pro that he'll go in and he'll take measurements of. He'll meet the customer. He'll take pictures of the job on company cam. He'll write up measurements, get a little laser up there, take measurements while he's building rapport with the customer. You got to make sure that the measurements don't get too complicated on our side, because then you're taken away from rapport building and from growing that relationship. But no, it's not on paper right now.
Got you. Good. It's a good thing. So does he closes on the spot?
Oh, all the time. Yeah.
When did you make that transition, or were you always just closing on the spot?
Probably about a year ago is when we really started to dabble in it. It was it's kind of scary at first to like really like, oh, can I do that? What if I get the numbers wrong? What if I want to talk about it with my painters or with a project manager or an owner or something? I want to, you kind of want to give yourself the time to do that. And that's just kind of an excuse. And as soon as the first thing you need to do is you need to have a system that allows you to do it. So in September 2022 is when we got drip jobs, and that made it possible to do in-person ones. And then we probably got our iPads about halfway through the year with the purpose of doing on-site estimates, closing on the spot. And then from that point, we just started getting better and better. And like, once you get that first like $10,000 sale on the spot, like it's the best feeling you can have as a salesperson. You just crave it for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week. You want to be able to go in and you'd be like, oh, perfect. I sold 10 grand on the spot. I don't have to do any more work for it. Boom. So yeah, we've been slowly getting better and better at it. It went from about 50% of them were getting on spot to now we're about 95%. where some of the commercial ones don't get on the spot, or sometimes people are busy, but really try to push it. And sometimes if they don't have time, we'll just say, okay, well, don't worry, we'll come back. I don't want to waste my time unless we're here, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I think you touched on a fact that like there's a big fear and people just starting to sell on the spot, that they're going to price the job like completely wrong, and then they're going to lose money on the job. Right. So has that ever happened to you? What did you take away from that, and how do you prevent that from happening?
You know, and that's the crazy thing is it's a weird limiting belief, right? Where, oh, what if I have more time, I'm going to be able to price it better. Well, the best time to price a job is when you're there. You're never going to be able to see it better than when you're there in person. So, you know, if you need a little bit more time to think about it, go out to your car. You know, all of our JP right now, he was doing them all on the spot, and you were seeing a little bit more of a discrepancy. And that I love doing it on the spot when I was doing sales, because I'm very adept and very knowledgeable in making sure I know how to use drip jobs. I know how to make make an estimate on the spot. But he didn't make the systems. He's just going off of what I've made him. And so I said, go out to your car, spend 15 minutes working on it, thinking about it, and then coming back and then sell the job. You know, and we have the folders that we give all of our clients as well. So we give that folder to our clients and have them look at it when we're in the car.
What do you include in the folder?
Let's see.
Because I've seen pictures of it. I know people want to see what's in it, but let's get the sneak peek.
Here's the sneak peek right here. This is heavy inspiration from Brad Ellison and from Ron Adams. It's got a lot of mixtures of everyone. The original company that I saw doing presentation folders was actually Painter One. It's a local franchise here. We're Painter One and us are the only people that do them in Utah that I know about, at least in the metropolitan area of Utah. And so, I mean, we got our license here, and then our insurance, and then the Painting Contractors Association, Sherwin-Williams, our Better Business Bureau. We got our 5-year warranty right here. It's a different piece of paper. This one hasn't been signed by me yet, but I normally like to sign them as well.
Every single one?
Every single one.
Just has that little touch of professionalism kind of thing?
Yeah, a little bit. This one's a little bit about me, just me and the owners. Normally they don't see me anymore, but then if they ever want to contact me, I got my personal number right here, and then all of our other people that are working here. And we'll probably add another guy there shortly.
Yeah, me. Put me in there.
Yeah. Well, probably not in that one. You don't want people calling you. We got our core values here.
What are they? Can you share what your core values are?
We have the main 3 ones that we talk about is just performance, professionalism, and levity. You know, we like to have fun on the job. Our other 2 are fairness and integrity. These are exact copies of Brad's, so they're not original, but we have really loved working with them, and we just needed something to start on. And we're probably going to be changing them this next year, but this year it'll work fine. This one's our color consultation sheet
with Amanda.
So, free color consultation right here. Just talks about, you know, digital renderings, making sure that, you know, just giving her number directly. And then these ones don't get seen as much, but this one's how like the questions and answers. So like
FAQs kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a frequently asked questions. How long will the project take? How much will the paint cost? Why don't you include paint in your estimate? And this is the last one that we love to go over with clients. It's just being prepared for the team. It's just a great way to kind of show, you know, people always ask, well, what do I need to do? Well, I have a checklist, and here's exactly what you need to do.
So in your folder for every single quote that you go to, you give them a folder with all that information. So you give your insurance, you give the warranty that you personally sign, you give a story about how SwiftHand started, you have pictures of all your team members and a little like information about them. Do you provide like information about the painters that are coming to the jobs too at all?
figured that out yet.
Gotcha.
We're looking at eventually going out and making a separate little like sequence that we can send to people. After they sell the job, it gets handed over to our project manager, and then he goes and does another meeting with them, and he's the guy that is also in charge of the painters. So at that meeting he'll decide which painting crew he wants to put on which job, and which job he wants to, and then he'll schedule it as well. So
powerful. So a 6-page duotang or a folder for every single person. So insurance, warranty, about the company, the basically like admin behind the company, core values, and then FAQs. And you, along with, of course, the actual quote itself, and you physically give a copy of that folder to every single estimate.
Every single estimate. And the reason for that is, one, it adds weight. And, we try to sell on the spot. We want them to show that we're a professional company. So we say, here you go, take a look at this. There's probably 3 different reasons we do this. One is so, hey, they can go out to the car and they can be looking at us. They can be thinking about us, why we're doing it. We don't want to go out the car and then they start cooking dinner. And you come back in and like, oh, do you want some pineapples, some grilled pineapples and chicken? You want them looking at it and like, oh, I love this folder. I've had people, we go back in after 30 minutes and they're like, I read every single one. I love this. And they won't let me leave until they've signed the paper. Like they won't let me not give them a price on the spot. And so that's the first reason. Second reason is just shows professionalism. There's not a ton of other companies doing it. When you show the warranty and you show the insurance and you show your frequently asked questions and you show that we're a local company, that's going to set you apart. And it's also going to say, hey, don't even base us against those other companies, because we are going to be probably the highest, and we are going to do the best job. Don't even worry about actually, like, don't even consider those. Then no one's going to consider, Chuck with a truck when he doesn't have insurance, he doesn't have a warranty, and you're comparing it against us versus them. Even if we're double, they're going to be worried about that after you show that. So maybe a little bit of discontent as far as the other people that they may have also done an estimate for. And the third one is, let's say that they go in and they actually, let's say that they go in and you can't close it on the spot. Oh, I got one more estimate. It's later today. I don't want to sign until I've talked to them. All right, don't worry. I want it on their coffee table. I want them sitting watching the new Avatar TV show on Netflix at 8:00 at night, and then they see some bad painting in their house, and then they see my painting presentation folder just on their coffee table. And every single day when they walk by, they're going to be reminded of us. It's like a little, it's like a billboard in your home almost, where they're seeing it every single day they walk by, and they're like, oh, I do need to get this painting done. I have the money. Who are they going to call? They're going to call Chuck with a truck when they can't even remember his name. Or they're going to call the person that they've seen for the past week.
And they know the story. They know who's behind the company. And odds are is they're continuously being served your ads on Facebook, Instagram, wherever.
Yeah.
So you're just always staying top of mind, and having that kind of physical product that you can deliver to them, like a tangible good. It's just that does separate you from anybody else that comes in there, because anybody else that comes in there after you, without one, it's almost like underwhelming, of like, you just set the new standard for a painter simply by providing a tangible good to this homeowner.
Yeah, Painter One's the main competition for us in Salt Lake. There's 3 of them. So I don't know why they even let 3 different franchises go together, but because they do have 3 of them, there's a lot of like, sometimes you could actually have 2 different Painter Ones bidding against you. And so, the last one that I went to a couple months ago, we went in, I was the 4th estimate. I had Painter One there at the same time. We were the highest of 5. The only people they considered was us and Painter One, and we were $400 more. And so they ended up going with us. We said, hey, let's make a deal. Let's split the difference. We'll be $200 more instead of $400 more. And they went with us, and it was one of the best reviews that we've ever had. So people want the best. They want professionalized companies. They just have to make sure that you're putting yourself in that situation.
Yeah, I agree. People are willing to pay more for a service if they see the value in it.
Yeah.
You know, like what did you tell me about Ford Media?
Oh, they're the best.
They're the best, but also,
what did I say?
You said they're more expensive than everybody else.
Oh,
right?
they're more. Well, there's a
So.
variety of reasons they're more expensive, but you know they are the best, so you got to charge for the best. You know, I mean, you can't go around and can't pay someone $500 and expect the same results as you are, you know, when you're paying double that. You know.
Yeah, champagne on a beer budget.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's something I admire about you, though, is how willing you are to continuously reinvest in your business. Like,
oh yeah,
if you don't mind me sharing, I mean, you texted me saying you just spent $5K on growth.
oh yeah, this week.
Do you want to share about like what that was invested in?
Yeah, so you know, I got a humbling experience from Tanner Mullen a couple weeks ago, and he's like, "Why are you using Google Voice as your main operating phone?"
That was in our coaching call, right?
It was in our coach. Yeah, I was in the coaching call. And when you're starting your company, you're trying to professionalize. It's a great way to separate yourself from your personal phone number.
Mm-hmm.
Once you hit, you know, 500 to 1 million, you need a separate phone entirely. I think, but I mean, he was just saying, why are you using why are you using this platform that is meant for free personal use, and you're using it on such a large scale now? You're putting out 60, 70 phone calls a day through it. Why are you using something that's free? And I like low overhead. I'm a very lean person, as far as not lean like physically, but like like lean, agile, you know, agile methodologies, lean, Six Sigma, you know, all those things where you're trying to run a lean overhead. But at a certain point, I was like, I got to get this professionalized. And so we switched over our main line from Google Voice over to Open Phone. That was like $250. We went and got another number for our project manager. So he was using his personal phone. So we just went ahead and we just said, okay, we'll get you a Open Phone number. So that was another $240. We recently invested in a higher, we do a lot of automation. So we recently spent a lot of money on Zapier. The main reason I upgraded it is because the plan that we had right now is $20 a month, and it was 15-minute intervals.
Damn.
Well, when I'm getting my leads, I need them instantly.
Yeah.
And so I upgraded my plan just so I can get my leads in instantly.
Yeah.
I can't be waiting 15 minutes because every single second counts.
What are you on right now? I'm on Teams. I'm on Zapier Teams. So we have we just had to increase our Zap limit because we do the Zaps for all our clients, of course, right? But
yeah.
Just had to increase our limit. So we're doing 5,000 Zaps a month with Teams. So I think we're spending like 200 a month just on Zapier.
That's crazy. No, we're at
it's worth it. It's worth it, dude.
Yeah,
if all it does is helps one of our clients book one more job, dude, it's like it pays for itself. You know what I mean?
We're on the pro plan. So we're on the $50 a month plan, unlimited Zaps, the professional plan. So 2,000 Zaps a month.
Mm-hmm.
We've been getting we were getting over the other one anyway, so it was charging us extra anyway. But like the main thing was we just need them checking every minute.
Yeah,
we just can't wait.
Yeah.
So,
well, what softwares are you using right now to grow your business?
We're using Drip Jobs. That's our primary catalyst for professionalizing our company. We're using Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Yelp, using a lot of different digital platforms to kind of build us up. We're using Zapier pretty heavily. Anything we can't automate on the Drip Jobs is very good for automating on the customer side, sending automatic texts, sending follow-up emails, all that stuff. It's not very good at automating things that in your business that need to be automated. Sending your color consultant a text message with the information, sending information to the baker, because we send cookies to our clients after the job gets done.
What? That's cool.
automation. You know, you
Damn,
can't.
send me one of those, man. I'm a big cookie guy.
This is local. I don't know how much they would charge me to send it to freaking Ontario, Canada.
That's a cool touch, man. That's a really cool touch. We had a client that would send candles, like branded candles, and then also like that was for if they sold to like the housewife, and then if it was like the husband, then they would send them a barbecue apron, like a branded barbecue apron.
See, I would just send them both because that sounds not automated to me. But that sounds cool. That's really cool though, because they could probably wear that and they're wearing it every once in a while. I would say the reason we do candles because it's very like people just love sweets. They're addicted to sweets. They'll think of us. We're thinking about maybe doing some shirts as well. And maybe we'll start giving out a couple shirts away as well on every job. But for now, it's just the baker gets a text, then it's automated, stuff like that.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. So how many cookies do you send? And that's to every single client, whether it's a $100 job or a $10,000 job, they get like a dozen cookies or something?
Yeah, so they get, I think, eight cookies, and then it just gets automatically sent to the baker. And then we have a deal with a local banking company that delivers it for about $20. And easy. So every single job costs us $20. Easy piece of cake. Jobs obviously make a lot more than $20. Hopefully. Add some of that. They'll remember us, you know.
Yeah. And what about like for like the folders? Like, have you done the math on how much it costs per folder that you create?
About $1.
It's a buck each, including paper, printing, everything.
That's kind of hard to know. I got this printer at Costco that like you can refill the ink on. It's like $33. I've only had to refill it once.
Yeah. So say like a $1.10, right, for each folder.
The folder costs 77 cents.
There you go. Yeah. And then you're providing your clients with like a new standard. You're showing up to this quote so much more prepared than the next guy is. Probably if you're competing with Ron Adams or Brad Ellison, you know. Yeah. But typically you're going to show up way better at this quote, right? And even if they don't go with you, they're probably going to keep the folder still, and you're going to still stay top of mind. So I'd say $1.10 total. And how much would you say it's brought you in more, like in the longevity of you doing it?
No, I don't even know. I know that multiple people have said, "Oh, the reason that we chose you is because of this folder." Like, I just know you. You know, I know that's done. I know that's sold at least 4 jobs since when I was selling. I only sold for like 6 months, I think. Really hardcore 6 months of selling, and before we ended up hiring it out. So, I mean, that's an extra 4 jobs that people wouldn't have. And when you're doing, you know, that can be a big difference. And it's $1, you know, it's $1.10, you know, not very much work. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. And then even like the post-production cookies, it's $20. And it makes them feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Like it's a really good call, dude. And that's going to lead to them referring you to someone else, or worst case scenario, at least, you know, having a positive image of you, and we were thinking, after their job.
We were thinking about going to key lime pies, you know, instead, but we just haven't decided. We're just doing cookies for now. But we might switch to key lime pies one day. We'll see.
Well, you send me both, bro. I'll let you know which one I like more, and we can go from there.
I don't think the key lime will ship at all.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna make it through customs.
Yeah, probably not.
That's cool, man. So pre-touch before with the folder, and then post production, you send them a little gift as just like a thank you. That's powerful. And then what about in terms of like I was saying, something I admire about you is you are very open to spending more if it's going to result in more. I think sometimes what we see is people fix so much on a specific amount of ad spend, and they just try to maximize that ad spend rather than seeing that as like, wow, I could spend more and get so much more from it, right? And something that stood out to me about you was, I think we started at like 2,000 a month, something like that. Yeah. And then you went to 3,000, and then you went to 4,500, then you went to 6,000, and then now we're at 7,500 just on Facebook.
Just on Facebook, yeah. You know, our whole goal is, you know, I think a lot of people, they're like, oh, why am I not growing? You know, why am I not growing? Is like I want to grow. I'm stuck at $70,000 a month, but I can't grow. You know, I'm stuck at 500,000 a year. Well, what's your marketing spend? Are you increasing your marketing to make sure that you're actually increasing the amount of revenue that's coming in? You know, a lot of people, they, you know, I know quite a few people that are spending more money on their marketing, their marketer, than they are on the ad spend. And I think that's crazy. You know, if you want to get a good ad spend, I think you need like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 to even get a good ROI on marketing. But like, if you want to be a $2 million company, you know, maybe you don't have $20,000 right now, but you need to be spending, you know, we can do the math real quick, you know, 2 million, you know, times 0.10 divided by, you know, divided by 12, you can be spending $16,000 a month, $17,000 a month just on ad spend. You know, you want it to be about 10%. And if you're trying to grow, I'm aggressive. We're at 12, 13, 14% marketing right now. We're going very intentional. We're shooting for 3 million this year. You know, we did 1.1 last year. We're shooting for the moon. And if you don't increase your marketing spend at the same rate that you increase your production and your sales, like there's only so much you can squeeze out of sales. If you're at 35%, maybe you can get to 45, 50%, but it's going to get really hard to go from 50 to 60. And then if you're doing 60 to 70%, you're probably too low in prices anyway. So, I mean, I don't know. I like spending money on things that are going to bring me more money, if that makes sense.
100%. Yeah. If you see a return on investment, like if you, a 10% cost of acquisition, that's essentially meaning every $1 you put in, you get $10 back.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like if you went to a vending machine and you put $1 in and it spat out $10 back, dude, I don't know about you, but I'd be freaking booking it to the bank and just pulling out as much money as I can to dump into that vending machine, you know? And obviously
that's why we're throwing this money into this. You know, we're seeing that we spend $7,500 in meta ads and we're seeing that return. So it's like we're selling over 7,500 or $75,000 a month. So like, why not double it again? You know, it's like, there's no reason not to.
100%. And you're also very diverse. Like you have so many different marketing avenues going. Like, dude, you were telling me you're doing radio ads or something. You're like, go and leave us a review on this, I don't know, this local Salt Lake site for radio ads.
It's KSL. So it's like a local, it's like a mix between like Craigslist and Facebook, very well known for old people. They have all these classified listings, but people really trust it, especially these older folks. And you know, when you have these different reviews on here, you know, people go on there, and that cost me $65 a month to have a listing. And then it's gotten, like, I was looking at it today, 700 people have seen it so far. We've gotten 12 people click on our website so far in the past, like, I think it was in the past like month. So past 30 days, I've gotten 12 clicks on our websites and like 3 estimates just from $65 a month.
Yeah.
That's local. You know, we spend money on Yelp. I hate Yelp. I freaking hate Yelp. But the ROI is there. And so I put my hatred aside and say, I will spend money on you, even though I literally hate everything about you, because I don't care. My bottom line as a company can't be, I hate this random Yelp company. It needs to be, does it make me money?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how our relationship started off with Spencer. He hates me so much, but we make him money, so he's got to love me.
No.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I mean, if it makes sense, then why not, you know, spend more on it, right? Like you're even doing lawn signs, like you're very well diverse. So we actually see it right behind you. It says time to paint with the phone number.
Those yard signs, that was like the 5th iteration before we did them. Dope marketing. If you find the right salesman working with them, they'll always be able to find a deal for you. They'll say that they don't have a deal, and you're like, okay, I'll just wait for the next deal, and then they'll find a deal magically. And so the deal you can always get is about $400, 100 signs, free shipping, free stakes. And these are pretty big. And so you're adding $4 included with the stakes. That's about as good of a deal you can get with really good customer service. That was like the 4th or 5th design that they sent me. So they did like 5 revisions. They didn't charge me anything for it. And that was 200 we bought for $800. And we have went and called a bunch of our old clients and asked them to put them at their house. We said, we're doing a big marketing push. Can we put them at your house? So now we have them at 30 different houses, and that didn't cost us anything. And they're going to be up for at least a month, maybe 2 months. We asked them to put it up for at least a month. Those are old houses we've already painted. Now, every painter has old houses that they can go and put their yard signs at, you know?
Yeah, and it's going to be like a blitz because now purple's going to be popping up everywhere. You know what I mean? Like people are going to be driving down and they're going to see like 800 freaking signs. They're going to be like, dude, how much are these guys producing?
Yeah, we put them at all 4 of. We did 4 gas stations last year.
Nice.
My office admin went and drove out today and put them at 4 different gas stations. And then we're putting them at I got some family here, so I'm putting them at my aunt's house. I'm putting them at my in-laws house. I'm putting it at my sister-in-law's house, putting it at my sister's house, my brother's complex. Like that's like 5 people right there. And like, if you have people that are your friends or family, ask them. That's free marketing and they might keep them up forever.
Yeah. It's the low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Love that. I love that. So lawn signs, you're wrapping your car now. You get your cars wrapped. Are you doing flyers too?
Yeah, we actually have, so a long time ago, let me grab them real quick. So we actually have we have 24,000 of these right here.
Oh, damn.
These are 1,000 each. We bought them originally when we were doing all W2 models and we just didn't have enough work for all 3 of our teams. So we said, well, we don't want them going home early. They want a paycheck. Just go and download the Strava app, which is a running app that tracks where you're running at, and then just put these out. And these get results, not as good as I would want, but like we've gotten, we get good results out of them. I just need to find, our problem right now is just finding someone that will go and do it consistently, because we got 24,000 here before we can really make any new designs. We don't want to waste them. So we do those as well. We're working on doing those again. So
what about canvassing? Are you doing door to door?
Not yet. I just went to a meeting today about that. We're gonna see if we can find. I'm doing an interview tomorrow.
Nice.
Interviewing a canvasser and seeing if that would be the right fit.
Yeah,
we'll see. I
think it's a good play, whether you have specific crews that just focus only on that, or you train up your current crews that are on, they're producing or they're on site right now. One of our clients, what he does is he gets his guys to stand up on the porch of any job that they're producing and look in either direction. In any house that they see, they go and knock on the door and say, hey, we're just producing, John and Jane Doe's house over there. If we make too much noise, we have an outdoor gathering happening, let us know and we can work around your schedule. He says they don't actually work around the schedule, but it's a very nice thing to do, right? And then it stands out because it shows like a very, customer centric approach that it's low hanging fruit too, right? You're already there. Just go bang on some doors, give them a little pitch, let them know that you're here, and that could turn into a lead.
Well, another thing that, and I actually talked to my project manager about that today. I'm like, can we hit 5 doors on each side? Like, but we'll see if that gets implemented. A lot of our main teams don't speak English. So that will hurt and it might get too busy. We'll see. I might have to hire someone to go to the jobs and then just do the side.
Dude, why not put your sales rep out there? He's already there for a quote. He could just say, I just gave them a quote for this, that, whatever. If you're interested, I'm already here. We could jump in, or we could set up a day and time. You know what I mean? He's already there, and he's probably the more personable person than your crews producing that don't speak English that very well. You know what I mean?
I'll ask him.
It doesn't hurt. He's already there, and is he base plus commission, or is he just strictly commission?
Strictly commission.
So if that ends up in a new lead for him, it could be more commission.
Yeah,
he's already there. Could be
that's true.
A nice
Especially
little pinch.
if you just sell the job, like you just sold it on the spot.
Yeah,
I
there you go.
just
You're flying high. You got that vibration. You just closed a nice 10K and you're vibrating, dude. So
oh,
yeah,
that's good. Yeah. Another
love
thing we
that.
do to set ourselves apart is just these shirts. So that a lot of people are complaining online about how we don't wear whites, but like the people that are complaining, they're other painters wearing whites all the time, thinking that that's how it should be for tradition. I want someone when I see, these bigger companies like Tanner Mullen and his company and these other companies like Brad Ellison, you see them all wearing these branded shirts, and they're not always going to be just white. Sometimes they are, but I want to have something that's super unique. And when you see a crew of everyone wearing dark purple with shirts that you can wear at home, then they're like, oh, I want them to work on our house. They're professional. When you see someone wearing Bear shirts or just Sherwin shirts, oh, they're professional painters maybe, but they're not a professional company. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily true all the time, but like that's what people might think. That's what I would, that's what I would think. In fact, that's what it's exactly what I thought when I saw an epoxy guy crew come in right after us. I said they came in with their branded logos, their branded shirts. Everyone came in, they knew exactly what they're doing. I said, shoot, we have no idea what we're doing. And this was all when they had just Sherwin shirts. Like you could tell that this was a company and we didn't have that company. And now we do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it makes you pop out more too. Like we had a client who built his whole brand around bright pink. And the reason he did that is because his target audience is like a 45-year-old woman, right? And who would you rather, if you were a 45-year-old woman, who would you rather come in to paint your house? Someone in a white shirt with paint splatters and sweat stains, or someone in a bright pink shirt, right? It's a little bit more welcoming, right? But also it's like if you're driving past the house and you see, 3 guys on a ladder in pink shirts, you're going to automatically resonate of like, okay, that's XYZ painting company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it helps with branding, and especially if you have all these purple signs out, the purple wrap cars, they're just going to expect it to be SwiftHand Painting.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're trying to grow,
Yeah. Yeah. So you gave me a shirt for at the expo, and you also gave me a good book, man. So I'm excited to read it.
Stole my freaking book, guys.
Didn't steal it. Did not steal it. He put it in my bag. He put it in my bag, and it ended up with me in Canada. Did not steal it.
You sent me the wrong book on purpose, and I know that. It's a $12 book, but when I got this book back, I was like, oh man.
Dude, when Daniel came to pick it up from because he ran outside to get it from our car. Yeah. And then I saw the 2 books. I saw Profit First and the other one that you wanted, but I haven't read that one. So I was like, give him Profit First. I was just dying looking at the look on your face when you saw it, dude.
Yeah, I was just like,
I'll ship it out to you. When you send me some key lime pies, I'll send you the book.
Oh yeah, sure. It'd be cheaper for me just to buy the book again. I own the book on Audible. I just had to buy the book to read, Yeah.
No, I'm more of a physical book guy. I don't like reading on my phone. I don't know. There's just something different. But I like highlighting. Like if you look at my books, it looks like I'm a freaking 5th grader trying to color in a page. It's just all straight highlighted, dude. Like I love highlighting stuff. I don't read it. I don't go back and read it, but it makes me feel like it's like engraved more. You know what I mean? I'm a big highlight guy. Yeah. Awesome, dude. So any final thoughts here before we wrap up the podcast, dude? This has been awesome.
No, I think I'll have to come back sometime and talk about. I know that there's kind of like I haven't heard anyone talk about specifically like automations, like what you can automate in your company. So like I think that's like a whole nother podcast where we go in depth about, people are reaching out to me all the time saying, how do you do this? I know you said you automated that. How do you automate that? Well, when you automate things, it's like you can save 10, 20, 30, 40% of your overhead. We run a pretty lean company, and we have 1 office employee. We only have one person in the office and does all the office work, and that's possible because we automate so much. So that's just something we should talk about another time. What do you have any other questions for me before we go?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a good point. I think you should look into understanding what you can automate or what you can even delegate to free up more time. Like, I think I was telling you, so we do daily reports, weekly reports, monthly reports, and I invested in a software that automates that.
Yeah.
Right. So what that did was it freed up our media buyers time of like 15 to 20 minutes a day, each one of them. And we have 3, right? So that's like roughly 60 minutes a day on a 5-day schedule. That's 5 hours a week multiplied by 52 weeks in a year. Dude, that's 250 hours.
Yeah.
A year I just saved by automating what? $200 a month for this software?
Yeah.
And I saved 250 hours. It's like
one task too, you know, think about how many other things that you probably could automate, you know.
100%. Even power dialing. Like there's softwares that you could upload a list of phone numbers. Like if you're doing cold calling or whatever, you could upload a list of, and it like what it'll do is if one person doesn't pick up, it'll automatically dial the next person on that list and the next one and the next one and the next one. And what that's going to do is save you like 10 seconds, 15 seconds a call. But when you're doing a list of 200, it's like chips make chunks and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure.
So what's something that you've automated recently that you would recommend other people to begin automating?
Oh, well, the stupidest thing I automated was I capitalized all my leads coming in.
I didn't what do you mean, like their names?
Yeah, people put their names in, they don't capitalize their names. So I capitalized all my names coming in.
Why? Why though?
Because I like them to come in professional and like everything's automated. So if you submit a form on our before, when you submitted a form on our website, if you didn't capitalize your name, every single text that we send you will have your name wrong. It won't have a capitalized Lucas or a professional company. I want to send professionalized companies. So if I have to go in and professionalize the person that's coming into it, I want to have that. So, I mean, that's something that we've done. Another thing I fixed recently is a lot of Facebook leads, and I worked on this with you, was a lot of leads just don't go in if they don't fill out the last name. And so I automated that as well, where, you know, if they don't have a last name, it will just automatically populate it with it will just say like Lucas last name. So that way it goes to our system immediately and they can fix it later when we call them or text them. And that saves, you know, some of those, you know, if they come in at 9 o'clock at night and it doesn't no one finds it out or no one sees that something's broken, that saves 6, 7, 8, 12 hours before you could get to it, you know? So I did that. All of our Google listings automatically get all of our Facebook posts. Same thing. Anytime we do a new YouTube video, automatically goes to our Facebook and our Instagram. And same thing with LinkedIn. I have like 3 Instagram pages. I got my personal one. I got our SwiftHand Enterprises, and I have SwiftHand Painting. Anytime we do a post on Facebook, it also goes straight to LinkedIn as well, which gets like over 1,000 views a month. Same thing with Pinterest. There's another one. Oh yeah, TikTok. We have one main Facebook page, and that will post to our other. We've acquired a couple of painting companies since we started working in this area and professionalizing. And so we'll automatically reshare and repost everything that our page does. So if our page does it, it'll automatically post to 4 different other painting companies in Utah that we've acquired.
Interesting.
So
the posting, yeah, because the posting does take time, especially if you're doing the same post to manually do it.
We do
what
3
do you
posts
use
a day.
Yeah,
just
yeah. So as soon as someone posts on Facebook, it's
Zapier.
going to TikTok, vice versa.
Yeah, some of the stuff you can't automate, like Nextdoor, you can't automate. I don't think you can automate Yelp. Twitter, you used to be able to automate. You can't automate that anymore because of their API changes. We also automated some. Here's the reason that you got to be in the industry sometimes, and you got to actually be on the ground, is so you can see how many stupid things you can automate. Because I am incredibly lazy. Like there's this comic strip that I read when I was like 7 years old, and it was the freaking funniest thing. It's Garfield, and the whole time you see him walking by the little comic strip panel, you know, with tools and different things. And then at the end, it sees him laying on his bed with the big box TV on the ceiling, half-assed put on the ceiling so he can be lazier. That's me. I want to do as much as I can. I'll do as much work as I can to be extremely lazy. And so like when I had to go to an estimate and there was a company cam, I had to manually put their name in. That's all I had to do. It would automatically locate. It would automatically make the address and everything. I just had to put the name in, and that bugged me. That's an extra step. I'm here to sell. I'm not here to put their name in. And it led to issues because people would put their name in wrong, or I would put their name in wrong, or I would just say, fuck it. I want to go ahead and I want to just skip that entirely. And and then it doesn't get input at all, So when I get back and I could finally automate this and the tools became available, now I have my every single project. When the estimate gets scheduled, it makes a project on Company Cam, and then it tags it saying this is a potential job. And then once it gets accepted, it gets tagged. And once the job gets done, it gets tagged, and it sends our office admin a reminder to make sure all the stuff gets uploaded and to tag it even more properly so that you can go, Lucas and your team can go in and make sure that which ones are done, which ones actually have the right amount of, the right amount of pictures. We don't want you sending you guys just pictures that are just potential jobs. We need to send you the finished work, so this is all automated stuff. And I'm going to continue to automate it, but I mean, that's some other things, but we can go into detail later,
Yeah, dude. I think we got to have another podcast specifically on automations.
I could talk about it for hours, man.
I want to hear about it.
I've done too much work into it for it not to be shared and used for other painters. All these other painters are just doing a lot of this stuff by hand. They don't need to, or they're hiring 3 office admin when you just need, maybe you have 3 office admin. You don't need to fire 2 of them. And maybe you just need to get another $3 million in sales. Maybe they can help with that.
Love that, dude. Love that. Awesome, man. So, dude, thank you so much for jumping on this. It was a very impromptu meeting. I mean, for anybody that's watching, it was literally like a 10-minute, 10-minute thing where it was just like, yo, you want to jump on a pod? And we did it. So, dude, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the impromptu podcast here. It's been a pleasure, brother.
No worries, man. Hey, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Awesome. Or later.
And one last thing before we go, anybody looking to cross off that $1 million revenue this year, what do they need to do?
Oh, definitely. They need to reach out to you, Forward Media Marketing. They need to talk to Sam and to Ryan and to Lucas, and they need to get on the schedule for an estimate because, the easiest thing, there's always 3 things in a company. If you're trying to grow, there's leads, there's sales, and there's production. And I don't think most companies have an issue with production. I think some companies have an issue with sales. And a lot of companies have an issue with leads. So if you can get that dialed in, where you can literally pay someone to do it for you, where you have the best in the industry without really any extra work and pretty nominal. It's a nominal amount, it's not a ton of money when you look at the grand scheme of things. You hire someone to do that, then you can focus on 2 things instead of 3. Instead of being a marketing manager, a sales team, and a production manager, and then you're just working on 2. And then you can go ahead and you can focus on sales and you can get these leads coming in automated, where you don't have to do anything. And so if you're looking to get to that $1 million mark and to eventually the $2 or $3 million mark, I would highly recommend working with Lucas and giving him a call.
Love that, dude. I appreciate that. And if people want to get into contact with you, they can do so how?
They can reach out to me on my Facebook page. I got a little picture of me on my wedding. I'm verified on there, so you can just go ahead, click me on Facebook, send me a message. That's the best way to get a hold of me. I'm on there the most often. So
you're a legend. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Spencer, thank you for sharing all the value. And let's keep crushing. Let's get that $3 million revenue this year, brother.
Well, that's the plan.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye.